Ambassador Elena Vasquez read the transmission again, though she already knew every line by heart. The message was polite on the surface, ceremonial language, diplomatic greetings, all wrapped in council-approved formatting. But behind the polished words she could feel the pressure. The Galactic Council wanted to discuss humanity's colonial expansion, and they insisted she arrive in a non-military shuttle. That alone told her everything. Elena sat back in her chair on Earth's orbiting station and gazed out her window at the blue curve of the planet. It shone like a jewel, peaceful and innocent, utterly oblivious to the storm brewing far above it. She tapped her desk panel. "Put me through to Admiral Torres." A moment later, the Admiral's stern face appeared on screen. Her silver-streaked hair was pulled tight, her posture upright, her expression already braced for trouble. "I assume you've seen the summons," Torres said. "I have," Elena said. "And my first thought is this: it's a trap built out of paperwork." Torres snorted, a rare sign of amusement from a woman carved from stone. "I thought the same. Neutral station Kepler, 7, 1 shuttle, no escorts, no heavy ships allowed? Hegemony must be overjoyed." Elena's jaw tightened. "The Hegemony has been watching New Colorado again." Torres nodded gravely. "Our latest intel shows their patrol ships circling closer and closer. They pretend it's routine scanning, but we know better. New Colorado was the youngest, most hopeful of humanity's colonies, 300,000 pioneers carving out a home under a shining white star. Families, children, citizens who have given up everything for a shot at a tomorrow that the Council had never granted Earth. And the Hegemony wanted to turn them into labor stock. Just like Kepler 9. A shadow crossed Torres's face as she continued. "President Chen's authorized a demonstration. Something to make it clear we're done playing small." Elena raised an eyebrow. "How big a demonstration?" "The UES Retribution." Elena froze. Retribution was a myth, an unregistered project hidden behind decoy budgets and civilian shipyard contracts. As far as the galaxy knew, Earth had a handful of frigates and light cruisers. They had no idea Earth had spent a decade building one monster of a warship under the guise of a transport. "Captain Marcus Chen will escort you," Torres added. "You'll be our diplomatic reason for entering the system. He'll be the contingency plan." Elena remembered the file. Born on Mars. Parents killed in the Proxima outpost raid. Joined Earth Defense Forces next morning. Calm, precise, brilliant. A commander tempered by loss, sharpened by discipline. "I assume the Council doesn't know Retribution exists?" Elena said. "They think humanity is harmless," Torres replied. "Let's keep it that way until the moment we choose otherwise." The call ended. Elena sat for a moment, reaching into her drawer. She pulled out a small cloth patch, an old Earth flag her daughter had given her. "For luck, Mom," she'd said. "So you come home." Elena closed her eyes. "I'll come home," she whispered. "One way or another." Traits and characteristics are also somewhat similar to personality, but the main difference is that they are often seen as more enduring and stable throughout an individual's lifetime. The next morning, she boarded a military shuttle bound for the classified dock. Retribution waited there in the shadows. A ship that looked like an unspectacular cargo hauler if viewed from a distance but revealed its true nature up close. Its hull was too thick, too seamless. Its energy readings too tightly contained. Its crew too sharp. Captain Marcus Chen greeted her at the airlock with a crisp salute. "Ambassador Vasquez. Welcome aboard Retribution." "Thank you, Captain. I hope she lives up to her reputation." Chen gave a rare half-smile. "Oh, she does. That's what worries everyone else." He took her through silent corridors, down hallways filled with disciplined crew members who moved with polished efficiency. Every civilian panel hid armored plates. Every maintenance closet contained tactical systems. Every smiling technician was actually special forces. Finally, they reached the bridge, a calm, civilian-looking command center with hidden power humming beneath the floor. "We reach Kepler 7 in 4 days, Chen said. "During that time, we'll prepare for all outcomes." "And if they really do just want to talk?" Elena asked. "Then we talk," Chen said. "But if they try anything," he turned to the forward viewport, where the stars stretched as the FTL drive engaged. "They'll learn humanity didn't come to the stars unprepared." As the Retribution jumped toward Kepler 7, Elena sent a final message home. "Be good for Grandma. Mommy has to go fix something important, but I'll be back soon. I promise." She only hoped the galaxy would let her keep that promise. 4 days later, The UES Retribution slid out of FTL like a silent blade emerging from its sheath. Kepler 7 station hung before them, a huge ring-shaped orbital hub, glittering with thousands of lights. It looked peaceful, diplomatic, harmless. It was anything but. With his hands clasped behind his back, Captain Marcus Chen stood at the center of the bridge, calm as could be, but his gaze razor-sharp. "Lieutenant Park," he said in a quiet voice, "what do you see?" Park's fingers danced over her console. "A lot, sir. More than the station wants us to know." Numbers across her screen flickered, with each one cinching Elena Vasquez's chest a little tighter. "Report," Chen ordered. Park swallowed. "I count 12 hegemony warships hiding behind the station's sensor shadow." Elena let out a sharp exhalation. "And at least 20 more vessels scattered throughout the system. Low power mode. Weapons cold but ready. They're waiting for a signal." That was 32 ships. Against what they believed was a simple human shuttle. They wanted the meeting to begin with fear. Captain Chen did not give them that satisfaction. "Maintain disguise. No weapons visible. Let them think we're harmless." "Yes, sir," replied Chief Rodriguez from engineering. "Hollow projectors stable. To their sensors we're still a cargo hauler with loose screws." Elena forced a smile. "Let's hope they believe their scanners." "Oh," Chen replied dryly, "they will. They always trust machines more than people." "Dash?" Captain Chen, the communications officer said, "Incoming transmission from Kepler 7. A blue-skinned alien with 4 arms and expensive robes materialized on the main screen. Counselor Star was an opportunist who sold influence to the highest bidder." "Ah, humans," Star said with saccharine courtesy. "Welcome to Kepler 7. Please proceed to docking Bay 94. We look forward to peaceful discussion." Elena replied smoothly. "As do we, Counselor." As soon as the call was over, Chen muttered to himself, "Bay 94 is isolated. Easy to cut off. Easy to trap." Elena nodded grimly. "Then let's play like we don't know." Retribution drew near, still in disguise, playing the part of a fragile transport ship wandering too close to predators. The docking clamps locked in with a heavy clank. "This is it," Elena said, gathering her diplomatic bag. Chen stepped closer. "Ambassador, you'll be walking into a room full of people who think you're prey." Elena gave a tight smile. "Then let's show them the mistake of judging humans by how we look." Chen nodded once, sharp, precise, respectful. "You'll have 30 minutes. If anything goes wrong, call the phrase we agreed on." "And you'll answer?" "With everything we have." Elena entered the polished corridors of Kepler 7, flanked by 2 uniformed guards who didn't mask their hostility. They led her to a circular conference chamber, large, elegant, full of shadows that weighed more than any piece of furniture. Inside waited Counselor Star, the smiling traitor. Admiral Korfak, a towering, armored monster from the hegemony. A thin, gray-skinned alien she didn't recognize, but whose eyes gleamed with malice. Elena sat back down. Immediately, Star began. "Ambassador Vasquez, we are concerned by the reckless expansion of humanity." "Reckless?" Elena repeated calmly. "We followed every council protocol." Korfak slammed a fist on the table, the sound like stone colliding with steel. "The territory you claimed belongs to us by rights of ancient discovery. Your colonies violate interstellar law." Elena leaned forward. "What law?" The thin alien smirked. "The council revised the Discovery Statute yesterday. Discovery rights now last 200 years, not 50. Elena froze. "They rewrote the law just to make humanity illegal." Star smiled then, like a predator with fresh prey. "You now have 30 days to evacuate all colonies." "And if we don't?" Elena asked. Korfak's smile showed too many teeth. "Then we will remove your people ourselves. Starting with the ship you arrived in." Elena pressed the small, hidden communicator on her wrist. "Captain Chen, I assume you heard that?" Chen's voice came through immediately. "Every word." Korfak laughed. "Your little transport cannot save you, human. You are surrounded by 30 of our warships. You have no options." Elena rose. "Admiral, we didn't come in a transport." Korfak frowned. Elena raised her wrist. "Captain Chen, show them." "On Retribution's bridge, drop the disguise," ordered Chen calmly. Rodriguez grinned. "With pleasure." Its holographic skin peeled away. Fold down fake cargo panels revealing armored plating. Energy signatures surged. Hidden missile bays snapped open like steel jaws waking from a long sleep. The real size of the spaceship, **2 kilometers **, forced nearby vessels to adjust their orbits. In a matter of less than 10 seconds, the harmless human transport became the most terrifying warship the system had ever seen. Chin opened a channel to the entire station. "This is Captain Marcus Chin of the United Earth ship Retribution," he said calmly. "You expected us to come weak." He leaned forward slightly. "You miscalculated." For 3 full seconds the galaxy held its breath. Every alien officer on Kepler 7 froze as the false human transport unfolded like a beast shedding its skin. Metal plates retracted, weapon bays expanded open, reactors roared awake one by one. The UES Retribution revealed its true form, a dreadnought 2 kilometers long, armored like a planet killer. And 32 hostile warships were staring at it in disbelief. Inside the conference chamber, Admiral Corfax's jaw hung open. That cannot be a human ship." Elena Vasquez didn't even bother to sit back down. "We warned you humanity was tired of being pushed around." Corfax roared, "Hegemony fleet, attack." Elena let out a soft sigh. That was the wrong choice. A storm of fire. On the bridge of the Retribution, alarms flashed red, but Chin said nothing. "Tactical," he said. "Enemy fighters?" Grant didn't look up from her console. 12 Hegemony fighters launching. More prepping on their carriers. Release the defensive swarm. Hundreds of small metallic orbs ejected from hidden ports along the hull. For a moment they drifted like shimmering dust. Then ignited into motion. The swarm surged forward, pivoting with impossible agility to streak bright blue light across the void. Alien pilots had just enough time to scream. The drones didn't miss. One fighter exploded in a blaze of plasma. Then another. Then 6 more in perfectly synchronized bursts. 30 seconds later, the entire first wave was gone, wiped out without Retribution firing a single main weapon. Counselor Starr, on the station's observation deck, trembled. "Your drones, how can they move like that?" Elena crossed her arms. "You never asked what humans built in the dark while the galaxy mocked us." The cruisers step in. But fighters were only the opening act. 5 Hegemony heavy cruisers broke formation, cannons glowing as they locked onto Retribution. Chin incoming main batteries. Park shouted. "Weapons hot, shields at full." Chin did not bat an eyelid. "Brace. Let's see what their best can do." A volley of plasma fire ripped toward the Retribution, enough energy to flatten a continent. The bridge shook slightly. Lights flickered. Engineer Rodriguez double-checked the readings. "Minimal impact, sir. Their shots are feeding our capacitors." Elena listened from the station and smiled. "Meaning what, exactly?" Chin replied calmly. "It means the more they shoot us, the stronger we become." The gleam in Grant's eye. "Captain, returning fire?" "Absolutely." The main rail cannon charged, magnetic coils glowing bright blue. Energy built up with a sound like thunder trapped in steel. "Target their lead cruiser," Chin ordered. "Rail gun ready. Fire." A slug of tungsten, propelled at relativistic speeds, exited the barrel. It struck the alien cruiser with such force that the entire ship folded in half, before erupting in a star-bright explosion. The shockwave shook the station. Elena heard Corfax bark orders in panic. The Retribution fired again. Another cruiser disappeared. And another. In a matter of minutes, only one remained, its hull torn open, engines failing, drifting helplessly. Devise these phrases. For a total of _________ points. Write the correct form of the possessive adjective in parentheses. #enemy in flight. Admiral Corfax scrambled to his feet. "Retreat. All ships retreat." Park laughed under her breath. "They came here ready to enslave humans, but now they are running like scared children." "Don't tease them," Chin said quietly. "People are dangerous when they're scared." He stood tall, his eyes locked on the tactical screen. "Grant, jam their hyperdrives. No one leaves." "Yes, sir." "Hyperspace inhibitors online." The fleeing ships flickered, one by one, then were yanked back into real space like insects caught in ice. "Sir," Park said, "enemy cruisers are trying to regroup." Chin stepped forward. "Then let's break them again. Helm, take us straight into their formation." The crew blinked. "Straight through it, sir?" "Correct. A reckless move. A suicidal move. A human move." The massive dreadnought surged ahead, its engines in a blaze of blue fire. It tore into the alien formation like a god of war ripping mountains apart. The cruisers panicked. They turned weapons inward. Shots hit their own allies. Confusion turned into chaos. And Chin made full use of every second. Rail guns shredded armor. Antimatter torpedoes erased engines. Defense drones carved gaps in the enemy lines. The Retribution emerged from the other side of the fleet untouched. Behind it, nothing but debris and silence. Kepler 7 falls silent. In the station conference room, Star slumped into his chair, quivering. "Ambassador, your people are monsters." Elena gently corrected him. "No. We are humans. We don't start fights." She looked out at the glowing wreckage in orbit. "But we always finish them." She tapped her communicator. "Captain Chin, status?" "All enemy vessels neutralized," Chin replied. "Cost to us, 0. Korvac paled and shook, growling, "Human, what do you intend to do now?" Elena moved in closer, her face inches from his. "Now, we talk." The Admiral swallowed a lump of fear. The smoke of battle had barely faded from Kepler 7's orbit when the real storm began. Inside the broken conference chamber, Admiral Korvac and Counselor Star stared at Elena Vasquez as though she were holding a detonator. In a way, she was. The detonator was human. Elena set both hands on the table and leaned forward slowly. "Let's begin our negotiation," she said calmly, as if the wreckage of 30 warships wasn't drifting past the windows. Korvac's claws dug into the metal table. "What are your demands, human?" But it wasn't Elena who answered. The voice of Captain Marcus Chin emanated from every speaker in the room. "Our demands are simple." Elena smiled. "And non-negotiable. 1. The first demand, our people come home." Elena turned on her wrist display. Above the table, a hologram finally materialized. 3 star systems in red: Xerion, Karsus, and Delta Evo. Hegemony prison worlds. "You took humans from colonies you claimed were illegal," Elena said. "You forced them into mines and labor camps." Star paled. "We followed council procedure." "No," Elena said, interrupting. "You followed bribes." Korvac slammed a fist. "You have no proof." "Actually," Elena was quick to add, "I have everything I need." She dropped a data pad onto the table, recordings the Retribution stealth ships captured. Prison camps. Forced labor. Children in containment units. Hegemony soldiers giving orders that violate galactic law. Star fell completely silent. Chen's voice filled the chamber. "All human prisoners are to be freed at once. Whoever refuses will be declared hostile to Earth." Korvac bared his teeth. "And if we refuse?" Elena nodded toward the window. The Retribution drifted past, massive, silent, terrifying. "Then you won't have a fleet left to decline anything," Elena said quietly. 2. The second demand, recognition. Elena projected maps of the human colonies. "These worlds belong to us. Recognize them officially. No more phony discovery laws. No more council games." Star swallowed hard. "And if the council refuses?" Chin didn't hesitate. "Then the council ceases to exist as far as we're concerned." Elena added softly. "Choose wisely." 3. The third demand, a seat at the table. Elena's voice softened. "Humanity is done being treated like a child species. We wanted full membership in council." Korvac hissed. "You have no right. Membership takes centuries." Elena moved closer to him. "Our species did in 1 century what yours couldn't do in 5. We built unity under pressure. We manufactured weapons under threat. We built hope under fear." She raised her chin proudly. "And we just defeated the strongest battle group the hegemony ever assembled, without losing a single ship." Korvac couldn't argue. He didn't even try. The galaxy watches. Kepler 7 systems broadcast the whole negotiation. Across dozens of worlds, civilians in shock watched as a solitary human ambassador, backed by 1 hidden dreadnought, forced the hegemony to its knees. Species long oppressed by the hegemony started whispering, "Are the humans accepting refugees? Will they protect us? Maybe the humans can help." For the first time in centuries, hope moved through the galaxy. The Council is forced to answer. Panic reigned in the Galactic Council chamber. They destroyed Korvac's entire fleet. A single ship. This changes everything. Humans are a threat. No man is a chance. Some species intended to attack humanity. Some wanted to ally with them. Most were simply terrified. But one thing was clear. Ignoring humanity was not an option any longer. Star was given the results of the emergency vote. He looked at Elena with defeat in his eyes. Ambassador Vasquez, the Galactic Council, grants humanity a full seat. Elena exhaled slowly as relief washed through her. It was done. But humanity wasn't finished. Back on the Retribution, Admiral Torres appeared on the main screen, dozens of human dreadnoughts now visible behind her. Captain Chin, she said, the Council accepted our terms? Chin nodded. Phase 2. Torres smiled. Begin. Elena watched as the other human warships decloaked across the sector. Not threatening. Not attacking. Just visible. A statement. Humanity is not small anymore. We are not afraid. And will never be pushed again. The final message. Elena stood before the window of the station, looking out at the Retribution. She thought of her daughter back on Earth. She imagined the released prisoners returning home. She had thought of the galaxy shuddering and stirring all at once. Chen's voice came from beside her. Ambassador, was this the right path? Elena nodded slowly. Humans don't seek domination, Captain. We seek fairness, and we seek safety for our people. She turned to him then with a faint smile. And when others try to take that from us, we fight. Chin returned the smile. Then humanity finally has its place. Elena looked back into the stars. No, she replied softly. Humanity is making its place. Behind them, the Retribution entered hyperspace, leading the first wave of liberated humans home. The galaxy watched. It would never be the same again.